Hello everyone. So I'm back again this Sunday with the next quick and easy episode. So after learning about tech time and cycle time, so today I'm going to explain how you can balance a manufacturing line with the help of what we have learned last Sunday. I hope you will enjoy this video and you will keep learning every Sunday. So I'm sharing my screen. Let us first understand the effects of an unbalanced work. So if you consider six different processes with six different cycle time, and there is a tech time based on the customer demand. So you can see operator 1 and operator 4 are having a very less workload, which will lead to idle time, resulting into waiting waste and skill waste. If you consider the workload of operator 2, he will create work in progress, which is an inventory waste. If you look at activity of operator 3 and operator 5, which is much above the tech time, so they will look for shortcuts to complete their activity, which will lead to quality defects and therefore to rework, which is a kind of processing waste. By process flow balancing, we want to eliminate this waste or different type of waste which is getting generated through an unbalanced work, and we move into a more harmonized flow, which is also known as a lean flow. So before I move into the activity of explaining how we can balance an unbalanced work, I want to tell you or remind you that if you want to learn the basics of what is tech time and cycle time, which is very important to understand this entire process flow balancing, you can go and see my lesson 5 video, which speaks about the difference between the tech time, cycle time, and the lead time. So once you finish this video, you can come back and watch this video. You will get a better understanding if you are not aware of what is a cycle time and tech time. The first step to balance an unbalanced work is called process balancing, where the activities in different steps or the cycle time of the different steps are spread in such a way that it is below the cycle time, so that output is equal to the tech time. So this is the activity which is to be done in the process balancing. So once the process balancing is completed, one has to understand what are the number of workmen or operators to be deployed to complete the task as per the tech time. So this is a very important activity because if you are deploying less operators, then they will become an hindrance or they will prevent you in giving you output equivalent to the tech time. And if you're having more workmen or more operators, they will give you overproduction, which is a waste as per the lean terminology. So to prevent this, so there is a method of calculating the number of workers required in a particular process. So here, if I consider that these are the different cycle times of the different steps, and the tech time is 10 minutes. So the formula to find the number of workers is calculated by dividing the total cycle time with the tech time. So here I have added all the cycle time and divided by the tech time, which is giving me a number which is the ideal number of workmen to be used in the different activities to complete the process as per the tech time. So once you have the ideal number of workers to be deployed in a particular process, then the workload balancing activity uh, is the next step. So how do you balance a workload with the ideal number of employees or operators which is coming out from this calculation? So here you will deploy operators in such a way that the activity or the step which is having the highest number of activity will have more operators, and the activity which is having less work will be having less operators, and then these operators can be redistributed in different bottleneck workstation or in different steps to complete the work as per the tech time. So this is called workload balancing. So the importance of workflow balancing, as I said, is the redistribution of work in different operators and by redistributing them, we are eliminating the bottleneck of different steps, which are becoming a hindrance in giving out an output which is equivalent to the take time. But one point which is very important if we want to get success in workload balancing is mastering these two techniques in operator deployment. So one is cross training. So cross training means every operator is having the skill of every processes, so that you can judiciously use them in different steps. And another technique is having a standardized work, so that when they are distributed in different steps, all the operator perform the same set of activity and create a same set of product at the end of the process. So these techniques are very important to have a success in workload balancing. So this is the basic of how you balance and unbalance work. So hope you have learned today the process flow balancing techniques. So let me see if you have understood this with a very easy and quick question. So today's question is, a COVID vaccination center is expected to vaccinate at a tech rate of 10 minutes. How many ideal number of workers to be employed if the total cycle time is 50 minutes? So you are having a formula here. So this is a very easy question. So I would like to see the answers in the comment box. So please do reply, so that it gives me a feeling that you are learning from what I'm trying to share with you every Sunday. So with this, I will be closing my today's learning session. Thank you. Have a nice Sunday. Keep learning, stay safe, and see you next Sunday.